Hey, what's up, everyone? Ace of Spades here, back with another tier list video. So this time we're gonna go ahead and talk about the supports in season 3. So there's a lot of changes to a lot of supports. Kariko got nerfed. Is it enough to take her out of S? Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. But Mercy got some big changes, big heal buff bot changes. Brig, pretty solid too now with her health pack now giving instant health regeneration, just like how Bap when he got buffed with his shift. With the instant health, Brig has that now. So let's go into that and see how they tier up in the tier list and see what moves up, what moves down, and yeah. Let's get into that. So let's make sure this is all lined up or whatever. Okay, perfect. Ana, think Ana's a solid A pick here, just because I think sleep, anti, nano can never really go wrong with that healer, and especially with ball being in the meta pick right now. Ana's really good. If you can get a good sleep on his engage, you pretty much can all just go up to him, headshot him. Zen can 5 orb, follow up on the sleep and stuff like that. So I think Ana's always been in, my top either A or S. I don't think she'll ever probably move down from that just because of the utility that she brings, and stuff like that. So never really can go wrong with an Ana pick. Lucio, I think he's always solid as well. Has, speed, engage, especially now with Ram and Reinhardt being pretty solid picks. Lucio's always good to, be able to have a speed boost, have a defensive ult. In that. So like he drops down a little bit. Nah. Yeah, I think I'll probably keep him in A still. I think a lot of the supports we're probably gonna see pretty balanced supports in this patch. Nothing really moves him down too much except for, Moira. I think Moira is probably below the rest. And the reasons why is Moira has good survivability. So if you're finding yourself that not getting peeled and you just can't get any value, your team's not really helping you, then Moira is the pick. But Moira doesn't bring any other like value to the team other than survivability. So if your team is actually playing together, playing well, then you can get value from the other supports way more and be a more value to your team. I guess what I'm trying to say. Like the healing, you can run out of the healing, the orbs and stuff. They can fly away. Coalescence, there's a lot of abilities to cancel that or just jump on her and kill her while she's in it, since she can't get away when she's in that. So I think Moira is definitely below all the rest, but if you find yourself in those situations, then it's not the worst idea to go Moira and survive there. Zen got some extra damage boosted, especially with Hammond being in the meta. Zen's pretty solid to counter Hammond. It's like a give and take. So if you're not getting support on Zen, then you're kind of a free target, and the ball's going to look to try and get on you and kill you pretty fast with dives. But if you have support that's paying attention to you, especially with the Brig changes, with that extra instant burst health you can get, then Zen really strong into ball, since that Discord is just shreds any tank out there. So I think Zen is probably going to be making a comeback in this meta, and yeah, I think he gets moved up into A tier. So it's definitely like a high risk, high reward type character. But if you get really good with your positioning, then you just unload so much damage, and the tank really can't do anything. And as a tank player, I hate playing against good Zens, or even any Zen almost in general, because they just get unlimited free value. They throw orb, hide behind a wall, and wow, do like 50% extra damage. Everybody gets that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So yeah. Kariko is the next on the list. I just moved that, so I'm not talking about the DPS characters yet. Kariko, I think she is still in S tier. I think her ultimate, the rush, is just a game winner. Suzu, if timed well, cancels pretty much any of the stuns, sleeps, get your teammates out of a jail free card. Has her teleport to get away or teleport in to save a teammate. I think she's just all around. Her kit's amazing. If you hit your shurikens, you can counter widows, any any other sniper, Ash that's scoped in or stuff like that, Hanzo's peeking a corner, you can just long range snipe with no fall off damage. And yeah, I think Kariko has definitely high skill cap, but if you master Kariko, there's pretty much nothing that can really stop you from getting kills, and you can just help your team with so much utility. So I think Kariko stays in the S tier and has been since she came out. I've done small nerfs to her, which I think is fine, but I think she still stays at that S tier level. And yeah, Bap. Bap's a solid A pick. Can't really go wrong with Bap either. Ryan's coming back into the meta, as I've said before. And with that, Bap is a pretty solid pick into that, especially with Sigma as well. His shift, the instant health, immortality, the left click, you pretty much can be a DPS player on support. So with BAP, it's not unheard of to, have 10,000 damage, 10,000 healing, like matching up, being the most in both the whatever sides, attack and defense with damage or damage and heals is one. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Use my words, dude. Use my words. But yeah, so BAP, very solid A pick. Tons of damage, tons of heals, and yeah, can't really go wrong. Brig is pretty solid, but not a lot of people know how to play Brig, which hinders her potential, right? With Hammond being Brig is definitely better than Moira, but I've seen like maybe one good Brig. Because Brig requires positioning, knowing how to use the health packs. You don't want to just spam all of them at once. You want to be out and time them. You need to proc Inspire. So these other supports get like instant free value. Brig takes a lot more skill, which I think I'm going to probably leave her and be definitely better than Moira. But these other characters get a lot more easier free value. So if you're like a Brig player and you know how to play her, then, bam, A pick, solid. But I think for the general consensus of players, with how like getting value to, not and just hardcore feeding, I think that's going to drop her down a rank just for, my personal opinion. Yeah, so I kind of want to move her into A just because the buffs do make her good. You know what? We're gonna put her in A, dude. F it. If you get good with Brig, and you know how to play her, then she's just as good as these other characters with peeling, surviving, stuff like that. And Rally's still like a good game-winning ult. Zen could ideally even be maybe put in S too if you're really good with them, but I think that's like that. Mercy, I think I might have had Mercy in like S or A tier before. With the Mercy changes, she pretty much heals. She doesn't have the support passive anymore, but all the heals, when she's healing somebody else, she gets healing from that. And when they go under 50% health, then they get a bonus to their healing. So as like a Winston, you pretty much do negative healing to those targets. Mercy can keep up tanks really well because when tank goes under 50%, they already gain that damage reduction, and now Mercy gets that extra boosted healing onto those tanks and stuff. So I think Mercy is still all around solid pick. They did nerf her GA, so you can't just hit the E brakes, go 180-degree turns up, down, left, right, which I think is good. I think that looks pretty dumb and made no sense, to be honest. But it's only about a couple of seconds, so good Mercies still have that good movement to get away. It just isn't as annoying now. But I still think she is a solid pick. In the current meta, she still has good survivability. Somebody gets on her, she can just pocket them, they pocket her, and then the supports never really die that often in those situations, unless they're only two alive. So Big Mercy stays solid A. It's kind of crazy that in this current meta, I think the devs did a pretty good job with balancing a lot of the heroes. You can pretty much pick any of the supports. Some work way better, with others, but I think you can get away with playing honestly almost any of them you want and get value for your team as long as positioning is key in support. So attention to that, but I think pretty good, solid patch this time. Feel free to pick whoever you want and start farming that SR. But yeah, that's it for this tier list video. This is the Season 3 Overwatch 2 supports tier list, and till the next patch. See you guys later. Peace.